everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and today I'm going to be doing a highly anticipated new releases reading vlog. I am so excited for both of the books that I am planning to read in this vlog. They were both very highly anticipated by me. I pre-ordered them and they both came last week on May 3rd. I had to put off reading them for a week just to get a couple other things done, but now it is time for me to read them. The first book that I will be reading in this reading vlog is none other than Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This is probably like my second most anticipated book of the year behind House of Sky and Breath, and I am just dying to see what I think. And the second book is Book of Night by Holly Black. This is Holly Black's debut in adult fantasy, and I cannot wait to see what this one is all about. Before we get started, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for bookish content from me every single week. I also have my Instagram and Goodreads linked down below so you can follow me on there. Let's talk about Book Lovers. I started this last night. I am only 10% in, and I have some thoughts. And the thoughts are not good. I am a little bit concerned, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not loving it so far, and I'm really hoping that it's just because it's only the beginning. I am only 10% in. I really hope that my mind will be changed soon, but so far, I don't know. I'll explain in a second. If you don't know what this book is about though, Book Lovers follows Nora Stevens. She is a literary agent in New York City. She is cutthroat, type A, organized, intense, and she has a history of being broken up with, being left for somebody else who is like the total opposite of her, and she doesn't really care that much. I mean, sure, it might bother her a little bit, but for the most part, she's kind of just like moving on, not really concerned about it. Very much a career-focused person. Our hero in this story is Charlie. He is also a very cutthroat, type A, just like Nora, editor, and he works for a publishing house. In the beginning of the novel, Nora and Charlie do meet for the first time for kind of like a business meeting. Nora tries to sell him on one of her clients' books. He is not interested, and both don't leave a very good impression with each other. Fast forward 2 years, and Nora has recently been dumped. She's, you know, just kind of on to the next one, and her younger sister Libby approaches her and says, hey, why don't we go on a sister trip to North Carolina, to this small town, get out of the city, get away from breakups and all of that type of stuff, and just have some fun. So that is all that I've read so far, and that's all good, that's all fun, but my problem with this book thus far is this is not really reading like a romance. It's really doesn't feel like a romance forward book so far, and that is a problem. When it's a romance, that is a problem. Here's the thing. It's reading like a contemporary adult fiction, literary fiction, family drama, sister healing moment book. And if that is what I signed up for, I would totally be down for that. Like a good example of that type of book is Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. Great contemporary, great like sister healing moment book. Really good. But I knew what I was going into with that, and knowing that that's what it was going to be, and I really enjoyed it. This is a romance. First and foremost, this is a contemporary romance, and it does not feel like one at all at the moment. We have had a huge focus on Nora's sister, Libby. What we know about Libby is she's younger than Nora, she is married, she has 2 kids and another on the way, she is currently pregnant, and it seems like there is some tension between Nora and Libby. It seems like they have just gone through a lot together. They used to be closer than they are now. There was like some mention of this trip to California that didn't really go well, and they don't really talk about it. And I just feel like there's this sort of underlying theme that maybe Libby is kind of going through something, and she needs this sister trip more than Nora might need it. Like she has something going on, she's not happy, and you know, we're gonna see these sisters heal together or heal each other, I'm not really sure, which is all fine and great, but like, this is a romance. I don't really care. I don't really care. That sounds so mean, but you guys know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel like a romance forward book at the moment, and that is concerning. I want romance. I wanted my grumpy Virgo energy, like, romance, and that is not happening. Charlie has been in this book barely so far, and I know it's super early. I hope that I am proven wrong once I get a little farther into this book and it's a very romance forward book, but right now it's just reading very differently than I expected it to. This book also has very mixed reviews. I see a lot of people on BookTube whose opinions I trust implicitly, and everyone kind of has a different opinion. Like Chandler, she rated this 2 stars. Erin from Booked and Busy gave it 1 star. But then like Liv from Liv's Library, she rated it 5 stars. And I'm like, that's a big spectrum, and I don't know where I'm going to fall, but I'm concerned. I'm very very, very nervous. I want to love this. I 100% thought that I was going to give this book 5 stars. I still could. I still definitely could once I get a little bit farther into it. I don't know, you guys. I'm just like, there's a lot of focus on family and sisterhood, and like that's all great and fine and dandy, but I'm looking for romance. And in my romances, I do like plot. Don't get me wrong. I don't want just like straight only romance, literally nothing else going on. But, you know, I do like something going on the side. I do like a little bit of meat to my romance, if you will. But this feels like too much on the side, too much meat, too much sister meat right now. And I'm not buying it. I'm not really into it. It hasn't really charmed me so far. But I really hope that I'm wrong. I really hope that it kind of turns around and we get back on track towards a romance, and then we can kind of just have like the sister stuff on the side. I'm not really sure. But my plan for today is I need to get some editing done, but I would like to make it to the 50% mark of this book. I'll definitely check in before I get there. And then it is the weekend. We have a lot going on this weekend. It is Sean's birthday. It is his mom's birthday. So we are going home and we're just going to be like partying up with the family all weekend. So I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done, but I am going to bring my book with me to travel home because it's kind of an event to get home, and I go on a ferry and all of that. So I might be able to read on the ferry, and I hopefully will be able to fit in like 20 pages here and there while I am home for the weekend. But I am excited to read this. I'm just nervous. It's not going how I thought it would, but I really hope that we get back on track and see some grumpy love. I will check in with you guys once I have an update for book lovers. Hi guys, so time for another reading update for book lovers. I was able to get some reading done this weekend. I just got home, by the way. So if the lighting sucks, if I look gross, like I don't know what to tell you. It's 10:30 at night. I have been just going all day long, but I really wanted to give you guys an update before I read any further because I did make it to the 25% mark and I want to read more tonight. So let me tell you my thoughts thus far from like I was at 10% to now the 25% mark. Libby and Nora, they did go to the small town in North Carolina. They are staying at a very cute cottage in this small town and kind of have a little sister moment. We get more information about Libby and Nora's mom. She was an aspiring actress in New York City. They didn't really have a father figure in their life, and we just kind of get more underlying feelings of like something's going on with Libby. Something is wrong with Libby, and Nora and her just like have this sort of tension. And once again, we get, you know, more hints about like something happened a few years ago and that kind of changed a lot of things for them. Still don't know what it is. I have no idea. I'm like trying to guess and I can't even, no idea. Nora does go into town, goes into a coffee shop, and she sees Charlie and she's like, oh my God, that cannot be him. So she sends him a work email to see if this guy who she thinks might be Charlie looks at it, and he does. It's Charlie. He looks at his phone and he responds to her, and they end up having some cute banter about Bigfoot erotica. Then, you know, Nora's freaking out. She's like, oh my God, Charlie Lastra's here. Like, what the hell? He does not know that she is there though. And then Libby and Nora decide to go out to a bar, and Nora physically collides into Charlie. And obviously he knows that she is there now. Libby takes that as her cue and she leaves. And then Nora and Charlie have they hang out at the bar together all night, and they really get to know each other and talk. They have good banter. Very cute. Still really not into it though. Number one, so much focus for a romance novel on the family, like with Libby, their mom, Nora, their dynamic. Obviously something is bothering Libby. Libby is going through something. So there's a lot of that. I don't really care. I'm sorry. I don't really care what's going on with the sister. I just want more of Nora and Charlie. And what we did get of them was very cute. Like, they had some good banter. They have a good sense of humor. I do definitely appreciate aspects of their dynamic so far, but like, I'm feeling no tension at all between them. They are not, see, I thought this book, how I perceived it was like, this is going to be sort of an enemies to lovers, like a work professional rivals to lovers. I thought that they would be very like, I don't like you, but we actually have a lot in common and we're gonna deny that, and there's this tension and the will they, won't they, and blah, 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 blah. They did have that work meeting a few years ago where like they didn't make a good impression on each other, but then we know that like they didn't really interact too much over the last few years and haven't had much of an impact on each other's lives. So they just don't really know each other. And then they run into each other and they hang out, and like they warm up to each other so quick, and they're like besties now. And I'm just like, are you guys gonna kiss? Like, are you about to kiss right now? I'm concerned that the next like chapter that I read is gonna be them getting together, because that means we will have them getting together very early on in the novel. And then I'm like, so what the hell is the rest of the book about? Is it about Libby? I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Not every book has to be the slowest burn, does not have to be a Mariana Zapata slow burn. But like, where's the fun in a couple getting together that soon? And I don't know if they're gonna get together. I just feel like they're going to. I feel like things are going a little bit too well, a little bit too peachy keen for there to not be like some type of getting togetherness between Charlie and Nora at this point. There's just like, there's no tension. Where's the like, you know, where's like, I want to work for it a little bit, you know? And so I really don't know how the rest of the book is going to go. You know, I talked about earlier how I said I do want my romances to have some plot, but not like too much, not in this way. And I want to make it clear, like, I'm not saying like I want, you know, more than the romance and then I've now been given more of the romance and I don't like it. I just don't want a romance book that is literally just insta love and spice, because I've read romance books like that and they're just boring. So when I say that I want plot, like, yes, I do want to learn about, you know, the characters' friendships and their jobs and like family, whatever, but just in ways that make sense and contribute to the overall romance story. You know what I mean? Like, these characters don't take up too much of our time. They aren't the main characters. We still focus on our couple and they just kind of like add a little bit of pizzazz to the romance novel. But this is just like going in a direction that I did not expect. So I don't know, you guys, this is just not going the way that I wanted it to. And I'm just sad. I'm just sad. I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic though. I really do want to like love this book and thought that this was going to be like a really unique take on like an enemies to lovers type of thing. And we were gonna have like a grumpy situation. How many times have I said grumpy in this vlog, by the way? Take a shot every time I say grumpy. Okay, I'm so sorry, I keep repeating myself. I'm hopeful that we are gonna get some like good, interesting character development for Nora and Charlie specifically, see some relationship development, see some really cute, awesome moments between them, because it's just fine right now. If I had to rate this book right now, oh my God, I don't even know if I want to say this. 3 stars maybe, but that could change. I don't know. Ugh, I can't imagine giving this book 2 stars. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine giving Emily Henry 2 stars. I don't know, you guys. I'm sad. I'm sad the way that things are going. This is not poorly written. This is not a bad book. There's nothing wrong with like, it doesn't feel like a romance novel. This is not romance to me. This is literary, contemporary adult fiction with like a little bit of romance on the side. But like, I don't want to read that. I wanted what I thought this was going to be. And I was so excited for this. And it's just really, really not living up to the expectations I had. And I'm just sad now. So I'm going to keep reading, hoping to get to the 50% mark. And I will check in with you guys once I have read a little bit more. All right, guys, very quick check-in. I am so long-winded with my check-ins. I'm trying to be shorter about it so future me doesn't hate the editing process. I read to the 40% mark of Book Lovers last night. I wasn't able to get to 50% because I was super tired, but things are going well, you guys. Things are going in a direction that I'm loving, okay? We are seeing Nora and Charlie have to come together on something. I'm gonna try to now basically be like pretty vague with my descriptions of what's going on because I don't want to spoil anything, since I am in like, you know, I'm in the trenches of this book at this point. Nora and Charlie are gonna have to come together professionally for something, which is really cool, really interesting. We've learned a lot more about like Nora and her process of being a literary agent and her clients and things like that. I love that. I'm so interested in that. And so I really like that we've been focusing on that lately. We also have this new storyline with like an indie bookstore, which is super cute. I'm excited. Things are going in a good direction. There's a lot of banter. There's a lot of focus on Nora and Charlie, not a lot of focus on Libby, which God love her. I'm sure she's a great gal, but I just don't care. And we've been getting more information and more scenes with Nora and Charlie being cute. So I'm like, I don't want to get too excited, but I'm getting excited. I'm like, maybe this won't be the biggest disappointment of my entire year, you know? Like, please, for the love of God. So maybe this book just had a rough start and we're gonna have just like good romance for the rest of the book. I am hopeful, but I really like the direction that this is going, and we're definitely seeing Charlie come more to the forefront of the story. It's going really well. I'm gonna leave it at that. I would like to finish this book today. I don't know if that's possible. I have about 220 pages left. I just wanna like keep a good pace reading this book and then get onto book of night. I just wanted to update. I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling some hope, and hopefully I will have another very good check-in for you guys soon. All right, guys, so I wanted to do one more check-in before I finish Book Lovers. I have about 50 pages left, so I'm really close to the end. And yeah, I do think I have my final feelings sort of sorted out about this book. I will save those for the end though, because I do just want to see if the last 50 pages of this book does anything for me. We also had such a great scene in this book, and it actually wasn't even about romance, if you can believe it, so I'm just like the biggest hypocrite ever. But my favorite scene in this book was ripped right out of an episode of Gilmore Girls. Emily Henry is a Gilmore Girls stan, confirmed, because Nora and Libby go to this small town's town hall meeting, and there is yelling, there is heckling, there is just chaos, and the thing that they're voting on is like ridiculous too. It's exactly like the scene in Gilmore Girls when they're in Stars Hollow, and you know, Taylor is leading the meeting and it's about something ridiculous. Luke is heckling him, Lorelai and Rory are just like making funny remarks, usually like eating something. So I loved that. That was really cool to see, and it made me want to rewatch Gilmore Girls again. That was good. I'm happy about that. That was a really cute, touching moment. You know, Libby is Libby. I have sort of warmed up to her a little bit. I've sort of just accepted she's a part of the story, and she's a major part of the story, so I just need to let it go. I will say, I'm gonna save, like I said, I keep saying, I'm gonna save my final thoughts for the end. I will say, I have reread the synopsis of this book a few times, and I just don't think it's accurate. Yes, this stuff does happen in the book, but it's not what the book is about, you know? Like, and I don't know. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for the end. I'm gonna save my final thoughts for the end, because I do want to give this book a totally fair shot to change my mind. I have 50 pages left. A lot can happen in 50 pages. We will see. But yeah, it's not bad. It's just, it doesn't feel like a romance. We're gonna keep reading. I'm gonna finish this book, and then I will let you guys know my final thoughts. All right, guys. I just finished Book Lovers. I don't even know. I have a million things to say and I have nothing to say. This is going to be my most disappointing book of 2022. I'm putting it out there right now. I hate to say it. It brings me no pleasure to talk about this book this way. It brings me no pleasure to talk about Queen Emily Henry's book this way, okay? But no, I did not like this. This did not work for me. Okay. I'm like, I am nervous to talk about this book because I know so many people like it, and I'm so happy that you guys like it, and I wish that I did, but I didn't, so we can still all be besties, okay? It so did not work for me. Let me talk about a few things that I did enjoy about this book. I do think the writing is good. I think Emily Henry's a great writer. I don't think anyone can contest that. Like, the writing was good. There was some funny moments, some good humor. I liked the small town aspects. I liked the Gilmore Girls reference. Yeah. Okay. So, things that I didn't love about this book. This is not a romance. This is adult contemporary fiction. There is a romance subplot, but this is not a romance, and it is marketed as such. So I will be basing my feelings off the fact that this is a romance. This was supposed to be a romance, but it does not read like a romance to me at all. But that is what I am judging the book on. If this was a contemporary fiction, it'd be fine, whatever. But this is romance, so I won't be judging it that way. This is marketed as, you know, one summer, two rivals to lovers. Charlie and Nora are not rivals. They are nothing. Honestly, they did, you know, I talked about this in the beginning of the video. They met a couple years ago, had a little business meeting. It went a little rough, you know, they didn't, you know, quite make a good impression on each other. They had some issues, whatever, but it was fine. It was fine, okay? They did not affect each other's lives at all. They didn't run into each other. They didn't like have to kind of work together. They didn't have moments where they were running, you know, where they were being rude to each other throughout the years, where they were any rivals. This talk of rivals to lovers is nowhere to be found in this book, okay? You know, on the back of the book, it talks about Charlie Lastra, a bookish, brooding editor. That's true. It would be a meet cute if not for the fact that they've met many times and it's never been cute. Where have they met many times and it's never been cute? They've met once, according to this book, and it was fine. It was a little awkward. It was a little rough. I'll give you, maybe it wasn't cute, okay? But no. They start talking when they're both in Sunshine Falls, immediately hit it off, immediately have chemistry, immediately are friends. They're besties, you guys. They're so nice to each other. They start emailing in the beginning. That's kind of how their friendship begins. And they're talking about Bigfoot erotica. Okay, that's not something you do with a rival. Sure, they tease each other and like, you know, call each other a shark and blah, blah, blah. But like, it's so flirtatious and fun and friendly friendly and nice. Like, no, absolutely not. And then as soon as they start talking in person, they are into each other, you guys. There is no buildup. That is another thing that I really did not like about this book. No tension, no buildup, no will they, won't they, no turning from rivals to lovers, literally where they are just like friends and then they start being into each other really, really quickly. And not every romance has to have this big, dramatic, crazy, like, I hate you and now I love you. Like, I don't think it's fun to read about people who just like where's the fun in that? You know, where's the fun in just them instantly liking each other and just like, okay, great, cool. Well, what are we supposed to do now? What we're supposed to do now, apparently, is just read about Nora and Libby's relationship and dynamic and everything. And I am so sad that the romance was just not at the forefront of this story. It just was not. It wasn't even like important to the story, I feel like you could argue. Like, it was, I don't know, this book really, in my opinion, just ended up being about like personal growth and, you know, sisterly bonds and family and, you know, feeling insecure about yourself. And like, those are all great things. But like the romance was like secondary or honestly even third or fourth. It felt like a low subplot, you guys. And Charlie was not fleshed out. A lot of characters in this book were not fleshed out. I feel like Nora could have even been more fleshed out. But Charlie was nothing. Charlie was nothing. I wanted him to be a jerk. I wanted him to be this like intense, brooding editor, but like, come on, like let's do this. Like, let's go there. Let's have two unlikable characters fall in love in a romance novel. I would love to see it. That is what I thought we were going to see. We did not. Also, Nora, in the beginning of the book, we're told she's uptight, she's intense, she's, you know, she's a shark, has bloodlust, she's out for blood, she's this, she's that. We were told that in the beginning of the book, and so I was like, okay, I accept that, like, cool. But then we weren't shown it at all. And you know what? After I finished this, I have realized Nora is not this like mean, evil, intense shark Miranda Priestley type of person, okay? She's fine. She's a workaholic. That's her biggest crime. How dare she? She is so nice. She is so supportive to her sister. She is so supportive to her clients. She bends over backwards for everyone in her life. And she's a little organized, maybe a little high strung. I didn't think we were gonna get, here, I'm gonna make another Gilmore Girls reference. I didn't think that we were gonna get like Paris Geller. I mean, I would have loved that, but like, okay, let's take Paris Geller and turn her down to like a 7. That's what I thought Nora was going to be. No, she was fine. Nora was fine. She was underwhelming. This entire novel was underwhelming at every single stop, which sucks because I hyped it up so much more in my mind. And that is why I feel the way I feel. And that is why I feel the level of disappointment that I feel, because I thought that this was going to be like incredible. Also, Libby, I accepted her as part of the story because like, yeah, she literally is like one of the main characters in this romance. And she was fine. She was like whatever, but honestly she was kind of childish, and I think she's 30, and I really don't like when adults are childish in novels. It's annoying, it's unbelievable, it's very grating. And I know that it's from Nora's POV, and you know, we could argue, you know, sometimes older siblings tend to like infantilize their younger siblings. Like sometimes my sister says to me, I still feel like you're 12, and like I get that, but this was too much. Like Libby acted like a child on her own accord a lot. She said things that were very childlike, and it was just annoying, honestly. And then the big reveal, the big issue between Nora and Libby at the end of this book. Are you kidding me? Why was Nora so upset about that? I get the emotions behind it, okay? But I'm just like, really? You're this pissed, Nora? You who was so level-headed and like responsible? I feel like her reaction was so outsized. When Libby said, you know what, like her big reveal of like what's been going on with her, I was like, this makes sense. I totally get why you're doing this. I totally get why this is happening. I totally get Libby's point of view. And then Nora acted like she just got stabbed. And I was like, are you kidding me? I couldn't connect enough with these characters to feel bad for Nora in that moment. So, all that being said, I have decided to give this book 2 stars, which guts me. Oh my god. Once again, I take zero pleasure in this, but this is heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. I was trying to decide between a 2 or a 3 star, and how I rate books is, a 3 star is, I liked the book. There were some issues, but I liked it overall. I would recommend it. Overall, I think it was like good, whatever, but there were some issues, right? Not gonna be a favorite. 2 stars is, I didn't like the book, but it has 1 or 2 redeeming qualities that I can totally admit, and like there were a couple things I appreciated, but overall I did not like the book. This is a 2 star, you guys. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but this is a 2 star. I was so disappointed. This is not a romance. I feel like the synopsis does not match what happens in the book at all. There was no tension between our 2 main characters. I feel like there was not enough character development. I feel like some of the dramatic things that happen in this book were just a little bit over the top in my opinion, and I'm just so disappointed. So that is my feelings about Book Lovers. So disappointed. Also, there is like little to no spice in this book, which I'm not like, it's not affecting my rating at all, but just in case people are curious, there's like one scene and it's like nothing basically. So just so people know. Anyway, so that is how I feel about Book Lovers. What a way to start out this video. We are not doing good. I'm going to start Book of Night tomorrow because I just want to edit tonight. I'm going to go to the gym. I am actually watching Sahar Sprints because her fantasy romance book club is reading Guild this month. So really excited. I have read a couple chapters of it and I'm actually liking it so far. So I'm excited about that. And I will start Book of Night tomorrow. And what's good about Book of Night is I have no expectations because I don't know what this book is about. I've read the synopsis 3 times and I still cannot figure out what this book is about. But I love Holly Black, I love the Folk of the Air series, so I really do hope that I enjoy that book. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow when I've started Book of Night. Alright guys, I am going to try to make this a very quick reading check-in because once again it's the weekend, once again I'm going home, once again I have to catch a ferry. I do this in every vlog apparently. But I started Book of Night. I didn't start it in the last clip. I said I was going to start it that day. I did not. I got so distracted by Guild by Raven Kennedy. So good. I gave it 4 stars. I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up, but that book is amazing. But I started Book of Night last night and I am 20% of the way in. I am bored. I am bored, but not so much that I like want to DNF it or anything. I'm kind of just like, okay, like I haven't really been pulled into the story yet, but so far our main character's name is Charlie. She had some type of shadow magic. She might still have it. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still a little bit confused on the shadow magic thing and how that all works, but she used to live kind of a life of crime within the shadow magic thing, I don't know, but she used to be involved in crime regarding shadow magic and now she is not, and she's really trying to like stay on the straight and narrow. She lives with her sister. She also lives with her boyfriend Vince, who seems like this very normcore nice guy, but there's also some mystery surrounding him, so I'm sure he's like gonna be a bad guy in some way. It's just the vibe I'm getting. She works at a bar and her boss is really cool. Her boss is like this madam dominatrix type of person, so that's been fun to read about. The only really thing that's happened so far is Charlie did come across a dead body and it was of a customer who came into her bar earlier that day. And then this other guy that I think Charlie used to work with and like commit crimes with, he went missing. So his wife came into the bar and said, you know, Charlie, I need you to help me find him. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't really know. It definitely feels completely different than the Cruel Prince series. I know it's the Folk of the Air series, but I call it the Cruel Prince series, which it makes sense that it's different. It's adult fantasy. I'm sure that Holly Black wanted to do like a total departure from that whole thing and just do something very different, but it reads completely different. Like it almost feels like a different author, honestly. I'm not hating it. I'm just not loving it either. I'm just kind of bored at this point and I'm just kind of like, okay, like, is this it? Are we gonna get more? Like, I don't really know. So I'm gonna keep reading this weekend. I really hope that I end up liking this because I do love Holly Black. I love the Spiderwick Chronicles and I love the Cruel Prince series. So like, I want to love this too. I'm just kind of bored right now. So we shall see. I'm probably going to check in with you guys either sometime this weekend or when I get back on Sunday night. Those are my thoughts so far. Kind of bored, kind of not really sure what's going on. Still a little bit confused about shadow magic, but overall I'm mildly intrigued and I'm just gonna keep listening to the audiobook this weekend. So I will talk to you guys in a bit. Hello guys, It is a few days later. As you guys saw, I went home for the weekend. I had kind of mentioned that, and it was so nice this weekend. It was so amazing. We went on a hike. It wasn't really a hike because there wasn't any elevation, so we went on a nice little nature walk. It was so good. It was so perfect. It felt so good to like be outside, be in nature, be amongst the trees. It was wonderful. Also, I can't believe that I didn't talk about this in my last update, but breaking news, Harry dropped his album. Harry's House is out. Oh my god, it is so much better than Fine Line, which is incredible because Fine Line is an amazing album, but I literally feel like it's like perfect. Like it's literally amazing. I have been listening to it nonstop the past 4 days. I am obsessed with it. It's so hard to figure out what my 3 favorite songs are as of right now. I feel like Music for a Sushi Restaurant, what a way to open an album, oh my god. Music for a Sushi Restaurant, Late Night Talking, and Cinema. It's changing constantly. A couple days ago, Kara asked me what my favorites were, and it was a totally different list. I'm obsessed. If you listen to the album, tell me down below, what's your top 3 right now? What are your favorites? It's such a like happy album too. I feel like Fine Line had a little bit of melancholy kind of flavor to it. Obviously there were like happier songs, but I feel like this album just feels very like summer vibes, super excited and happy, other than like Matilda. That song is so sad. Overall, there's like a really good positive vibe to it, and I think that is my favorite music that Harry makes, is the happier songs, because my favorite songs on Fine Line are Golden and Sunflower Volume 6, and like those are such happy, like life is good, we're living, laughing, and loving, and this Harry's House feels kind of like it is a live, laugh, love album. So really happy about that. But yeah, let me know if you listen to the album, what are your favorite songs on it? I would love to know. In less exciting news, okay, I am 49% of the way done with this book. This is so boring. This is so boring. Oh my god. What is happening? This vlog, I am so sorry, you guys. This vlog is not turning out how I thought it was gonna be. I thought this was gonna be like, oh, just found 2 of my new favorite books, like Watch Out World. No, this is just me giving 2-star ratings probably to books that I thought were going to be 5 stars. So that sucks. This morning I had to convince myself to not DNF this book, and I actually had decided I was going to DNF it this morning. I was listening to the audiobook all morning and I was like, I can't do it. I can't. I'm so sorry, but I cannot do this. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna DNF it. I took my bookmark out of it. I was like, whatever. I was about to be done, and for about 30 minutes, I was like, I am going to DNF Book of Night, and then I'm just gonna film a vlog clip and be like, hey guys, sorry, but I can't do it. It's not gonna work out between us. We can't do this anymore, because I was so bored. But then I was like, you know what, Rachel, it's only a 300-page book, and I only have like 3 hours left of my audiobook. So it's like, come on, like you can push through. I don't want to DNF a book because I feel like I've DNF'd a book every month this year, which I am pro DNF, but also I want to give books a fair shot. I'm giving her shots, you guys. I'm giving her every opportunity to do something for me, and it's just not working. I'm not into it at all. I'm still like, I don't even really know what the plot of this book is. I really don't. I can't, if you ask me to like tell you, like detailed, tell me what's happened so far. I don't know, you guys. First of all, Charlie, main character of the book, she is very boring. She's a very lackluster, nothing of a main character. I'm sorry. She's characterized like this certain way, but I feel like it's very, we've been told these things, but we're not being shown anything. And Holly Black is so good at writing characters. Hello, Carden Greenbrier, Jude Duarte, like come on. She's so good at writing characters. So I'm very, very sad at the way that Charlie is just kind of lackluster to me. And then the whole world building and magic system is still very confusing. And we randomly kind of get dropped pieces of information with like no explanation, and I'm like, okay, should I be paying attention to that? Like if I add that into my knowledge of what I know about the shadow magic going on in this book, I'm still confused. I still don't understand. And then the plot, I'm saying this, maybe I'm stupid and that's okay, and I am an adult, I can admit that. I don't understand what's going on. What is the plot of this book? I don't understand. I don't. There's a dual timeline as well, and also the fact that to my previous point about Charlie kind of being a nothing character, the fact that there's a dual timeline that takes us back to Charlie's childhood, one would think that that would help us get to know her better. I still don't get it. Like all of the stuff in the past, all that dual timeline aspect is just like how she learned to be a pickpocketer and burglary and kind of commit these like petty little crimes that led her to the life that she lives now. But I don't understand how it ties into the shadow magic, because I don't think that she had like I don't get what is going on. Okay, so yeah, magic system, don't understand. The world, I don't understand. The plot, that's my biggest problem. I do not understand the plot of this book, you guys. There's a dead person who's a missing guy. There is a character who is very mysterious and seems like he's lying about something. You know, we have had some revelations about him, and I'm like, okay, no, so like what does this mean? Like I don't get it. The stakes and the tension are not there. And the thing with like her sister Posey, and then they go to the university and like they talk to that guy, and like what was that? You guys, I don't understand what this book is about. It might be me. I will admit that. I'm literally, when I finish this, I'm going to find a detailed description of the plot so that I can fully grasp it better. It shouldn't be this difficult. It shouldn't be this hard. I just don't know where we're going. I don't know where we're going. The connections are seemingly like all over the place. Plot is all over the place. The characters are boring, and I don't care. And I'm sorry. I really, really don't care, but I'm at the 50% mark now. I'm going to finish this book. I really hope, I was looking through some Goodreads reviews, which I really don't like to do while I'm reading a book, but it was at the moment when I was like, I'm DNFing this, so I started looking through Goodreads reviews. I didn't read any of the spoilery ones though, so I don't know what happens. People did say that it did pick up after the 50% mark, which like, oh my god. I feel like if a 300-page book is picking up at the 50% mark, that's a problem. I don't know. I feel like if it's this short, you know, you have to grip us from the beginning so it doesn't feel like a waste of time to read half of this book. I don't know what has happened with my May new releases, highly anticipated books, but this is not good. This is not good. I'm like scared of any new releases that are coming out for the rest of the year. I think this is a sign that I just need to like stop reading new books and just read what's on my freaking physical TBR. Yeah, this is not going well. I don't get it. It's not just like I don't get it. I'm not drawn in. I'm not drawn in at all. I don't feel anything towards this book. Like I'm so just indifferent and I just want it to be over. So that really sucks, and I don't want to feel this way. I'm going to be very optimistic and give this book a chance for the last 50%, but I don't have hope, you guys. I don't have hope. So I'm gonna try to finish this book today, but now I need to go edit because I have not edited at this point any of the vlog clips, which I never do that. I always make sure as I film each day, I'm editing clips so that it's not one giant editing task at the end of it. But I've just been, I don't even know. Editing can be really hard sometimes. So I need to go edit all of my book lovers clips and my first Book of Night clip and then this clip and get all caught up. And then I'm going to try to finish the book tonight, and then I will probably just finish out my thoughts. Like there's probably only gonna be one more update after this because I don't even know. I don't even know what this book is about. I know what this book is about, like at a base level, but like I don't get the details, the intricacies, the characters, motives. I don't know why people are doing what they're doing and like for what purpose, and why should I care? That's where we are right now. I'm really sorry. I love Holly Black. This like does not change my feelings of how amazing the Folk of the Air series is. And I'm not like trying to compare those either because I know it's a totally different thing. She got completely away from what she's written in the past, and I think that that's great, but this is just not working for me. That is that. I'm gonna go. I will talk to you guys once I have finished this book with my final thoughts. All right, guys, so change of plans. It is actually just a couple hours later from my last clip. I apologize for the lack of B-roll, but I just decided to finish Book of Night and I didn't start editing at all. So that means I'm going to spend the entire night editing this video because I would really like to post it tomorrow. As I said, I finished this book, and I will say that the second half of the book was a little bit more action-packed. It was a little bit more interesting, but I was still just so lost in so many things that were presented in the first half of the book that I could not get into it. The bottom line with this book is it's just not for me, and I was not gripped by the plot or the characters at all. Really, really makes me sad because I love Holly Black, and this does not change like my feelings of her at all because I love the Folk of the Air series so much and the Spiderwick Chronicles so much. This did not do it for me. I really, really just could not get into the story, and I really tried, and you know, I was listening to the audiobook and I was physically reading, so I was just trying to focus all of my attention on this story, and I just could not get there. So I am rating this book 2 stars, which you guys, this is the vlog of 2 stars. This is the vlog of highly, highly anticipated new releases that end up being 2 stars because this little you know what was supposed to be like favorite book of the year. Honestly, like I thought this was going to bump People We Meet on Vacation out of the spot for my favorite romance, and I thought that this would just be like an amazing new adult fantasy series that I could get into, but that did not happen. Overall, I never thought that the vlog would go this way, but here we are. You know, here we are. I have given an Emily Henry book 2 stars and a Holly Black book 2 stars. What a time to be alive for me, honestly. I'm really sad that I did not end up loving these books as much as I thought I would, but you know what? It is what it is. They just didn't work for me, and if you enjoyed them, I am so happy for you. I wish I was you. Honestly, I truly do. It makes me so sad that both of these books just were not it for me. So guys, that is it. I am sorry that this vlog ended up the way that it did. I hate making a vlog where I don't end up loving one of the books because I want to always be recommending books to you guys. I just did not enjoy these, but a lot of people did, so you know, if they seem interesting to you, go ahead and give them a shot, but they just did not work for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end of the video, just go ahead and leave the stack of books emoji because we have Book Lovers and Book of Night, very bookish books that I have read. I really appreciate you watching this video. Please like if you enjoyed. It really helps me out. Please subscribe. I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I will catch you guys in the next one.